Hi, I'm Ellen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be setting up my 2020 bullet journal. I know it's a little bit late, but I had a really hard time deciding whether or not I wanted to get a new journal and start fresh in January or just finish through the pages in my old journal. So I finally decided, I wanted a new journal, so that's what we're doing. This is my journal that I have been using for the past couple of months. This is the Dingbats journal, and it has worked pretty well for me, but I wanted to try something different. So I looked around on Amazon, and this is the one I picked out for 2020. So it is Reflaris brand, and I think I got it for like $12, but it feels like really good quality. It's just black and it says Reflaris on the bottom here, which is nice. I wanted a like classy, timeless look. And it says the timeless reflection of your mind. So I am going to start planning in there and get all set up for January and the initial pages for my bullet journal. And I hope you enjoy seeing how I set up my journal. So this is my Dingbats journal that I am saying goodbye to. I did make some planning pages for my new journal inside of it. So I've got some thoughts on what I want to put into my new journal and how I want it all laid out. Here is my new journal, which is Reflaris brand. And I picked this one out because I thought it looked really nice and classy. It has this nice shiny black cover, and inside we have this little card which I thought was really cute. It says, "It has been said that we don't learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. Reflaris is a tool to help you reflect upon yourself, both the good and the bad. For only when we understand our desires and see our strengths and faults, our highlights and shadows, can we see our true reflection. Those who have become preeminent in their field had to first acknowledge that they had room to improve. So lay your thoughts to rest in the smooth ivory pages and wrap them in the soft protective cover skin. It's time to tell a story about yourself for yourself." And I thought that was just a really beautiful quote and thought to have at the beginning of a notebook. So here I've skipped the first page of my notebook because first pages always make me a little nervous, and I'm creating my line spacing page. This is a page that I think was first started by Amanda Rach Lee, who is of course the bullet journal queen. So I'm erasing my pencil marks that I was just putting down to make sure I knew what was going on, and marking out all of the numbers of grid spacing. And then I also put together kind of what half, 1/4, and 1/3 marks would be, so I can reference it later when I'm making spreads, and it'll make further spread creation a little faster, which is really nice. Now I'm starting on my year at a glance or future planning type of pages. I kind of adapted it to what I wanted to use it for, which was a reference in terms of what days of the week things were on, and also a way to keep track of events throughout the year that will be further down the line. And so I've put together all of the monthly calendars at the top and wrote down the vertical line all of the numbers of days in that month, and then I'm highlighting the weekend days, and I have a little black bar on the side of each month to put the name of the month in. I continued doing that for the next half of the year. I did change the name of the month style because I didn't love the black bar on the other page, but otherwise it is exactly the same. These pages are going to be my 2019 in review and 2020 goals pages. I'm not filling them in right now, but wanted space for it later. Now I'm going to do my 2020 vision board, and again, I'm leaving it blank for now because I want to go and print out some pictures to help inspire me throughout the year, and I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. Now I am splitting some pages into thirds so that I can do some further planning in my journal. I did mess up on these lines, so you'll see I had to white out one of those lines. Count your spacing twice. I did this on 2 full spreads so that I would have 12 total sections, and I marked them out as Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 so I can break down my goals a little bit better into quarters and months as well. Now I'm marking out for 5 days of the work or school week and marking the hours which I'm usually doing things within a day. And I also separate the morning, afternoon, and evening with a nice line. And then here I'm adding the days of the week and my title for this page, which is winter quarter, and I will later put in when my classes and different activities are. I also sectioned out some space to put more things down about the classes I'll be taking this quarter, so I can put different details in there. Now we're moving into our January pages. This is going to be my monthly calendar. I decided to try this out for the first time, which is the individual squares for each day. I usually have them all connected, but the way the spacing worked out in this new journal, which is different from my Dingbats journal, the spacing was a little bit nicer when I did individual squares. I, of course, added all the days on the calendar, and then the days of the week. Now I'm adding the title, January 2020, which is still so weird to say and think that we are in the year 2020, but I do have a big empty space on that page. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet. This is my YouTube tracking page, so I mark out the grid for the month on this page as well so that I can pencil in what I'm planning to do, and then once a video is uploaded, I will write it down in pen on the day that it gets uploaded. So I have January YouTube written on it, and then along the bottom I also have kind of a list of things that I do when I'm creating my videos, and I check off those things as I go along in the creation process, and I also keep track of how many subscribers I have at the beginning and end of the month. Now on to my weekly page. I have developed this page over the past month, and it was inspired by line.unfolding on Instagram. So I took their style and made it my own. I have all of the day spaces across and mark out the hours in the day. There's also space for a running task list and a habit tracker and a waiting on section. So if I order anything throughout the week, I put that there and check it off when it arrives. Now I'm adding the first letter of the day of the week and the number of the day in the month that it is, and finishing off my first weekly spread. I put that it is week 1 for my school term. With that, all of my pages are now set up. So we'll just do a little flip through. We've got my line spacing page, my future pages, my review and goals page, a vision board space, the extra goal planning for quarterly goals. I left a page blank here for a collection, then for my school term, and my January monthly pages, including my YouTube tracker and my first weekly page, which I will essentially copy over for the other weeks in the month.
Thank you so much for watching me set up my 2020 and January spreads for my bullet journal for college and life and all the things that I do. Let me know in the comments down below if you bullet journal too, and if you do, what your January theme is, and some of your favorite bullet journaling things that you've discovered through your bullet journal journey. Thanks for watching. Bye!